Alright, so what we are doing right now is we are going through a KT400 Standalone mode setup and registration. What we have done, just to recap to get us to this point so far, is that once we install the KT400, we boot the KT400 as a default DHCP once we have the KT plugged up to the customer's network. Once we have that, then we ran our advanced IP scanner. We found the IP that it pulled as it reset, and then we webbed into the KT with its address that it pulled on their DHCP. At that point, once we have done that, it does come up to a page and asks, do you want to set this up as standalone or set it up to go through IntraPass? We select standalone, and then that gets us to this screen right here to activate the KT400. At that point, you put in the customer's information, you put in our information. We'll just finish this now. Alright, so once you have all the required information, customer information, all of our information, we should just be able to hit activate now. Now it is important that this gets set up on the customer's network because the KT400 does have to hit the DHCP server and be allowed to go outside of the network to hit the IntraPass Cantech website to register itself over the web. Then that gets us to this point, installer info, MCC installer as our normal. We give it our normal password. Oops. We confirm our password. Operator. This can be changed later if need be, but just by default, I will just throw in operator as just admin for them. And I typically go with the customer's address. So in this case, it is 5217 Linbar. 5217 Linbar. And we will go to next step. Sorry about that. This is going to be
So you happy with things so far?
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Awesome.
For whatever reason, it is not liking this. So, there we go.
Is that a new box up there?
Yes, all those are new.
Okay.
Yeah, the top one is the controller, and then below that is the power supply for the doors, and below that is the power supply for the controller.
Ah, alright.
Okay.
He's getting it set up, registered, all that good stuff.
Alright. Just when you needed a static IP address to use for this, ping our IT folks in Kansas asking for one, so I'll get a response from that girl. I said real quick, is there something you need like now, need today?
Oh, no, we don't need a run. No, sorry.
I'm just trying, I asked them, but I didn't put any little urgency on it. They were like, oh my gosh, I need it now.
No,
Or
we're
you
good.
just
Just
like
like to get that ball rolling.
No, we're good.
Sometimes in IT, take a full time.
Sometimes.
No, it's not absolutely necessary right now.
I'll let you back to it.
Okie dokie. Alright, man. Okay, alright, so we're doing our reader types. So we've got to pick out our reader type that we got going on there, just our standard reader. I don't think we are using the XSF, are we? You gotta. We can fix it afterwards. I think we are using the XSF. Alright, that's fine. Gonna go to our next step. Door 1 is going to be front entry. We're going to have a contact and a Rex, right?
Because it's a mag.
Go. And then door name in the back is going to be rear entry. Alright, both of those are enabled. We've got a door and a Rex. I am disabling for now 3 and 4 because we're not using it. Because they do not matter. So that's all we're doing. Just walking through the steps. It's going to give us a summary. Front entry, rear entry. Both of those are enabled. Contact, Rex, done and done. We save. Once all this information gets saved, alright, so bam, ta-da, we've got our information there, we're going to save.
Okay, does it matter? Working?
KT400.
Key fobs for our building, so the lines are running through here. That I
Save.
can't
I need
tell
something
you.
to write with.
It's possible, but I can't say it for certain. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Okay, so now that we've got through that part, we just got to log in again. MCC installer 1729527. Alright, so now that gets us in. Look at that. Shiitake. So, we will be able to see inputs, all these current inputs on here. So, like input 1, we can go in and we can program input 1, we can make sure it's got continuous supervision, we can change relays around, we can rename it. So sorry, we can go to our inputs. This is how we rename it, my bad. So this would be front entry contact. See? And then this is where we would say I'm always going to always monitor, always looking for it, normal condition, closed, right? Because that's how we wired it. We can set up relays, whatever. It's got the UIL resistors, all of that inside there. We say save. Changes have been saved. Ta-da! We can go to input 2, right? Input 2 on that is going to be front entry T-Rex. Normal condition closed, right? That's how we always default. Ta-da! And now we can just walk down through there. We're doing doors 1 and 2. And what did we learn today on inputs? per door, you have how many inputs? On an input block, how many inputs do you have per door?
It was 5, right? 4. Okay.
You got 4 inputs. You got a contact, a Rex, Z3, Z4.
Okay.
Right, then it starts over again. So technically Z5 is going to be contact, Z6 is going to be a Rex, Z7, Z8 is on that board, right? So we're dealing with 1 and 2, 5 and 6. That's the only inputs that we're really working with right now. So that would be 1 and 2. We're tied into that. But then you also got input 3 and 4. We also got 5 and 6. So that 5 is going to be rear entry contact. And we're going to have rear entry T-Rex. Save. Alright. So now that's just kind of your standard setup. You're naming some doors. You've got it activated. At this point, the system is going to work. Now the next thing that we can go over would be card holders, and we can go over some of these others, but that's kind of the first step to do, is just kind of program things so that way you'll be able to see all that flow down, right? But other than that, that's where we